Well, I think that brings us to the end of the development that we're going to do on this Aprilia V4, the Tuono. It's been a bike that we've really enjoyed working on. Really is a fabulous bike. There's so much that we like about this bike. The electronics, you've got traction control, wheelie control. There's even a pit lane limiter on it. Not that we've actually used that, but it is there. The traction control's adjustable on the fly. You've got all the different riding modes. The suspension, the Öhlins EC2, really is brilliant. You know, it gives you the feedback. It gives you all the damping. Gone is a screwdriver. You know, you don't have to set it up. You just select ASW2. I think I've been riding it in since I've got it. And it just really complements your riding. It makes you feel like you're a better rider than you are, really, which can sometimes obviously get you into trouble. The brakes on it, the handling, the feedback it gives you. Of course, the standout feature is the V4 engine. The sound it makes is brilliant. Really enjoy that. Whether you ride it with an open can. To be honest with you, I prefer it with the stock can. I know it's an ugly piece of stuck on the back of the bike. The louder cans for me are just a little bit too loud. It's a subjective thing. That's up to yourself. The only problem that we don't like about the bike was obviously the lumpy running at the bottom end, which is what we tried hard to get rid of. And now the bike does ride really well from below 30 miles an hour in sixth gear, pull all the way up to jail speeds, as we've said before. There's a couple of little niggles that we haven't liked about it. The switch gear is a little bit fiddly. The display's a little bit small if you're being picky. And then obviously it brings us to the white elephant in the room with Aprilia UK and the service you get from them, which I think we'll just park that there and leave that there. I'd like to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Abs, who's had a good ride on this bike as well. Let him tell you what he thinks of the bike.
Thank you, Qal. Agree with almost everything you've said. It's a fantastic package. The aesthetics are amazing. It performs as it looks. It is a very fast sports bike. The ergonomics make it suitable for all-day riding. Amazing in the lanes, great handling. As Qal said, the EC2 suspension is perfect. The overused phrase, power on tap, this bike has got it. You turn the throttle and the power never seems to end. Delivery is very, very smooth. After the remap, indeed. I disagree with Qal about the end can. It is subjective. That is far too ugly to be on the bike. Destroys the aesthetics in my opinion. The alternative can, the aftermarket one he had on before, yes, the sound is decidedly noticeable, but it fits with the performance and handling of the bike. It's a bike you wouldn't be disappointed with. It can tour, you can spend all day on this, and you can scratch about in the lanes, and very, very few bikes are really going to be able to keep up with this machine.
As I've said, you can't really go wrong with a Tuono, but we are moving away from it now. And if you've been following the channel, you know that the new project bike we've got is the Pikes Peak Multistrada V4. As standard, the geometry and the handling of the bike isn't something you're going to be disappointed with. We've already done some dyno runs on this bike. We'll show you those in the next video or the first development video off on the Pikes Peak. We've ridden it a long way now. We've actually got two of these. We've just been on a tour of Scotland with them just to get to know the bikes. We've already recognised a few areas that they're going to need some improvement on. It is a Euro 5 bike. We've got the standard Euro 5 characteristics, and we've already got to work on fixing those. We'll bring them to you in the next video. Back over to my good friend Abs again, see what he thinks of this Pikes Peak.
Thank you very much, Qal. Ducatistas have been waiting a long time for this bike. The Pikes Peak version with a smaller front wheel, the Öhlins, brilliant Öhlins EC2 suspension, the forged Marcassini wheels, the queue is long, the delivery times are slow, and there's a lot of anguished people waiting to get their hands on this bike. The first review, the first ride around Scotland was absolutely amazing. There is a transition from the V2 engine to the V4. It has a different style. The exhaust note is quieter, could be a little bit frustrating. You might want to expect a little bit more. Many people are ordering the full system to get the sound which matches the bike. It's not bad, but maybe that's something people will need to think about in terms of getting the full system. The handling is amazing. It's pin sharp. It gets around those corners. The power delivery will be smoother once Qal has spent some time on the dyno and on the road. With Qal, as always, the process is meticulous. He takes his time over it. The hours on the dyno are endless, but in the end, you have a machine that's just about as refined as you could want it to be.
Do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon and you'll be notified of any new videos and as and when we release them.